another episode of the Tapestry Podcast. I am Dr. Francois Booker Drew, and this is a show designed to bring on phenomenal individuals that you can learn lessons about their lives and their experiences, and even connect to them so that you can continue to benefit from their wisdom and their knowledge. And so this episode will not disappoint as well. They've been amazing, but I think we're just topping them with each one. And LaToyia Dennis, who is our guest today, is another amazing individual that I want you to know. And LaToyia does a lot. She is a wife. She's a mom. She's an author. She's a nonprofit leader. We could go on and on. She's a parent enthusiast. She is an MBA-educated leader who has more than 20 years of experience in the nonprofit sector. I have known her a long time, so we're not going to talk about how long because it will date both of us. She is a founder and executive director of A Chance to Learn, which is a program that provides solutions to enhance families through quality early education for kids and empowerment programs for parents, especially moms. And that's where I love what she's done with Motivated Mom, which is an entity that she has created that helps moms look at strategies for success on how to live a healthy life of purpose, fully engaged, and financially free. She is a motivational speaker. She is a brand ambassador. She is, oh my God, we could go on and on. And because I know her, we're not going to do that because I'm going to let you listen to her talk about it. She is a graduate of Dallas Baptist University. She got her master's at the University of Dallas, and then she has the most amazing little boy. He is so cute. I remember when she was pregnant with Chance, but we won't talk about that either because that will also date me too. So LaToyia, thank you for being here and saying yes to being on the show. Yay! I'm so glad you're here.
Saying yes. I was waiting for my invite. I'm like, okay, I'm just moseying along, listen to everybody else tell their amazing stories. And so thank you for the invite. This is awesome.
You knew it was coming, so it was a matter of time. I had to get you on. So I want to talk about with you today because I watch you do the Motivated Moms, and I was so honored that you honored me. Absolutely. And I got to wear my Converse tennis shoes, which I need to put on today and celebrate. But tell us about why you started Motivated Mom and why is this mom movement so important? Because you do it in a lot of different arenas. Why is it so important to uplift the voices of moms?
You know, Francois, first of all, the Motivated Mom program happened by accident, but it wasn't. It was God ordained. I started Motivate Mom by hosting a parenting class for Fort Worth ISD because I was hosting summer camps. And they said, hey, the same parents that are coming to your camps, these are the same parents who aren't engaged in their child's education. Can you come out and talk to them about parent engagement? And I said, sure. When I talked to them, it was majority African-American, Hispanic moms, single moms. And I left there saying, it's one thing to advocate for early education and to help foster an environment where we want our moms, our parents more engaged in their child's education. But I want to motivate moms because I want them to know that they're great women. Because if you know that you're a great woman, you will automatically be an extraordinary mom. And we raise our kids better. And I'm talking to a friend of mine, and she said, you know what? I'm going to give you $50,000. You're going to be the Motivated Mom. And so it completely happened by accident, but it just so happened that it took off. You know, I started the Motivated Mom with just a tour. I went to Chicago and 250 women show up. They are asking about my blog and how to follow me. And so I'm thinking, what in the world have I gotten into? It just so happened that God used the Motivated Mom platform, not just to grow, but really to inspire me to take a look at where were my pain points in life, you know, what affected me the most, and why did I really have a passion for moms? And it all boiled and went back to my experience growing up, you know, without my mom somewhat, where my grandmother raised me. And so she did a great job in keeping me connected to my mom and And over time, my mom and I grew to have an amazing relationship, but it was just ironic that God wanted to heal that part of my life. And he did it through birthing a ministry that I just can't get enough of. I absolutely love it.
And so talk about how your pain can inform and fuel your purpose and your passion.
You know, I think it's most important for us as leaders, you know, but even leaders in our home or in our community, or, you know, wherever we lead, wherever we show up, it's important for us to show up great. And it's important for us to take a look at our own deficiencies so that we can become better. What I found with the Motivated Mom platform, and even just digging into my pain points, is, LaToyia, at your very core, your most authentic self, that's where you're greatest. That's where you're strongest. And when you can peel back the layers, just like an onion, when you can peel back the layers of that onion and get to the core, it'll make you cry, right? You can peel an onion all day, but until you cut in the middle of it, that's when the tears will fall, because the core of the onion is the most potent, the most powerful. So it is with us. I know, right? I when I hit that point in my life, it was powerful, because I said, at your core, where you are strongest, most powerful, most potent, most influential, is at the core of who you are. And you have to peel back all of the layers that you have guarded yourself, that's made you callous and hard because you want to protect yourself, right? But it's just this, it's not truth. You know, you're not who you are because you have not come into your full authentic self. You're still guarding yourself. And I had to let down the guards. I had to get to the core. And that meant addressing some things that happened in my past, but even some of my own decisions, some of my poor thinking patterns. Like, as soon as you have a negative thought, change it. Think something different. And I know for those of you who are out there who may have had traumatic experiences in your life, I know that those experiences shape you if you don't get help. We don't want to be children who were hurt to grow up to be wounded adults. We've got to address those deficiencies within ourselves in order to really become our authentic self.
But this is the thing, LaToyia. I think for a lot of us, the issue is we see other people who are walking around in their woundedness, and we begin to normalize being wounded, and that, you know, Pookie and Ray Ray over there are doing fine. I mean, yeah, they may be crazy, but they're managing. And then you start doing comparisons of going, well, I'm not as bad as they are, so I must be okay. How do you help people break through that to not normalize being wounded?
You know, Francois, that's a great question. And I think it ties to the answer that I had to help the DISDC, right? When they talked to me about parenting classes and they said, hey, LaToyia, what are you doing in Bonton? Like, why are we got moms going to Motivated Mom program and they are all of a sudden applying for PTA and running for PTA president. Like, what are you doing? And I said, I'm listening. I think the way that you combat normalizing, all of everything that has you clouded and living this mundane life is you help people to understand who they really are. You help them peel back the layers. It's not one of those programs where, oh my gosh, I can write out every single outcome and they're like, numeral in number in terms, because I'm dealing with a small group of people. But when you look at the impact of the success of those moms and where they are now, being engaged in PTA from somebody who just had to admit to a group of other women and walk through therapy and counseling that she was raped and her children are by her father, that's heroic, right? That's big for her to now be engaged in her child's education because she took the step to heal herself. When you show people that they are bigger than what they were born into, when you show people that you can do more than what you're doing right now, and I believe in you and I'm going to hold your hand and get there, it changes everything. I let go of the excuses because I can be. I think we have to hold their hand and help them see you are amazing. Everything you need, God gave to you. Now we just got to stir it up. You remember Dr. Flowers used to say, it's in there. Everything you need is like ragu.
Yes.
It's in there. I say that all the time to them because they need to know. And that's the difference. That's the difference. Most people walk around life not addressing their deficiency and being okay with just living because no one has took the time to say, you're better than that. And I believe in you. And I know it's going to be hard, but we're going to walk through it together.
So who believed in you? Who were the people that, because I know that you had, some challenges growing up, and who were the people along the way, and not necessarily names, but what were the things that people did to help you see possibility?
Man, Francois, you, right? Dr. Flowers. You. I was telling somebody that story the other day, and I'm going to get to it. But I think it started with my grandmother, right? Yeah. I want to say that my grandmother really loved me past my pain. She wanted to make sure that I never questioned my existence, right? Never questioned if I was wanted or if I had purpose or if my life had meaning. She wanted to ensure that I felt absolutely loved, supported, and capable of doing great things. And she did that. There were people along the way and circumstances and situations where, it was counter everything that she had ever said to me, but I remembered how much she loved me. It was Bishop Eddie L. Long, and I know that his death and all the things that, people are saying or whatever happened around his life. But let me tell you something, that man and his ministry changed forever my life in a way that I don't even know when I met you, that I would have been the person that I am in meeting you had it not been for the investment that he made for 8 years in my life as if I was his own kid. It changed my life. And so people like him, Loretta Dozier, who was an ex-fiance's mother and loved me like I was her own, even when it meant that, this is not good. You and my son together, that may not be good. I mean, just people who were truthful, but who believed in me in a way that was no judgmental. Like I walk up to you, right? I'm meeting you to talk about, volunteering for a program for girls. and I'm stunned to hear you say, well, you need to meet with the executive director about the volunteer job. Like, really?
I had a plan.
Yes.
I had a plan.
But that goes to my point. You saw something in me that I never would have seen in myself. And I think that's why the work that I do for moms and kids in low-income community is so important to me, because I see something that they don't see for themselves. I see me being the person that I needed when I was their age or when I was in their position. And that's my goal. Be the person you needed when you were there. Right.
Wow.
And it changed everything.
But it does. It forces you, one, to be accountable and responsible for your life, because you recognize that other people are looking up to you and depending on you to be the best you. And that totally changes the dynamic of how we end up living in the world and how we relate to people when we recognize that it is so much bigger than we are. One thing I do know about you is your faith has been a constant. How have you lived through peeling back this onion and going through all the layers of hurt and pain and, disappointments and relationships not working out, all those different things? How has your faith been a constant